We can control the trial against pro-independence leaders from behind the scenes. That's what a high-ranking official from the People's Party said in a private conversation leaked today. Hello, and welcome to Catalan News. Questions over the independence of the judiciary in Spain have been raised today after a paper published a text conversation this morning by the PP spokesperson in the Senate, saying they had secured influence in Spain's Supreme Court. Stay with us to learn more about this new scandal. And on our show today, we'll also learn the new initiatives by the government to help unaccompanied minor migrants in Catalonia. The Spanish Supreme Court is in charge of the pro-independence leaders' trial. 9 of them are in pre-trial prison and dozens more face years in jail for their attempts to achieve independence last year. They've always argued that they are victims of a political trial and have accused Spain of having no separation of powers. Today, a new scandal has added to the situation.
It will be controlled from behind the scenes. Today, this quote called into question the independence of the Spanish judiciary. It came from the People's Party spokesman in the Senate, and it refers to the court chamber that will try Catalan leaders accused of rebellion. The message was leaked in the press and caused outrage, especially among pro-independence parties.
Li demanem que per dignitat democràtica dimiteixi del seu càrrec i també l'exigim al Partit Popular que el cessi ja com a portaveu del Senat.
Demano responsabilitats amb el senyor Cosidó i demano que assumeixi doncs, que una vegada més s'han passat quatre pobles.
The revelations also shed light on how the two main parties in Spain reached an agreement over the renewal of the judges at the helm of the judiciary, 11 for the Socialists and 10 for the Conservatives, including the President. The PP spokesman later apologised for his remarks and said his words had been misinterpreted. But even the party's main allies were not satisfied.
Esto no es un comentario desafortunado, una broma de mal gusto en un chat. Esto es un comentario gravísimo que está poniendo en jaque la credibilidad de la justicia española.
But it was not only politicians who condemned the leaked message. Judges themselves were extremely vocal and said it was urgent for most of the highest judicial positions in Spain to stop being elected by politicians.
Entenem que els altres 8 vocals siguin triats en seu parlamentària, però aquests 12 pensem que l'únic sistema per acabar amb aquesta imatge de politització del Consejo és fent aquest sistema. I no ho demanem nosaltres, ho està dient el Consell d'Europa.
The revelations also coincided with a strike called by judges to demand protection for the judiciary from political interference, as well as asking for more resources.
Still on judicial cases, that very same Supreme Court today closed a case against former Minister Jordi Turull and his wife Blanca Bragulat for an alleged insolvency offence. A lawsuit had been filed against Turull and his wife after he allegedly transferred an important part of his assets to her ahead of the political crisis over last year's referendum and declaration of independence. The prosecution said today that they don't have enough proof of a criminal offence. Turull is in pre-trial prison for his role during the independence vote and faces up to 16 years in jail for an alleged crime of rebellion and misuse of public funds. Moving on, Nobel Peace Prize winner Mohamed Yunus is in Barcelona these days, and he's met with the Catalan president, Quim Torra. Yunus, who received the Nobel Prize in 2006 for pioneering the concept of microcredits and microfinance for entrepreneurs who are too poor to qualify for traditional bank loans, called for a political solution for Catalonia. The Bangladeshi Nobel laureate says it is important to work for peace.
Like everywhere else, we try to make it a peaceful solution so that we end up in a way that we remain close to each other, not kind of go into direction which peace is threatened.
The number of unaccompanied minors, often teens, arriving in Catalonia as refugees has gone up. But a new pilot program in the south of the country aims to take steps not only in welcoming them, but ultimately towards their social inclusion too.
A pilot initiative in the seaside town of Tarragona houses and educates almost 100 young migrants under the age of 18. It trains them for their future, for example, in a career as chefs. This is an opportunity that some have never had before.
Muy grande oportunidad para nosotros, porque yo toda mi vida no hacer una cosa como así.
Mi futuro de momento no sé, pero espero que voy a tener un buen futuro, porque aquí tengo un montón de oportunidades.
Aquí beber es muy bien, el Tarragona, ¿sabes? Gente muy bien.
It's important to remember that unaccompanied minors does not necessarily mean children, and in fact, this initiative is aimed at young people between 16 and 17 years of age. They are part of a demographic which saw an alarming spike this autumn in Barcelona. Upwards of 3,000 unaccompanied minors arrived in Catalonia this year, compared to 400 of 2016. This has put strain on the system, leaving dozens of these young people to seek shelter in police stations as the weather gets colder. And things aren't set to get any easier.
Si es manté l'evolució d'aquests últims anys, ens podem anar que l'any que ve arribin sobre uns 6.000 joves.
But government officials still have hope. This initiative is set to help some 900 young migrants have a better life throughout Catalonia.
The heavy rain that hit Catalonia over the weekend may have come to an end, but the country is still coping with the fallout from the downpours. In northern areas especially, water levels in rivers are still dangerously high, with some having burst their banks and caused widespread flooding. Some isolated settlements and roads remained cut off, and dozens of people who have been evacuated waited for the all-clear so that they could return to their homes. People are advised to stay away from waterways, especially in the northern region of Girona. By late Monday morning, some of the families evacuated were allowed back to their houses, where the effects of the flooding was quite obvious. In October, Catalonia and the world lost one of their best sopranos, Montserrat Caballé, who you might remember from her emotional performance of Barcelona with Freddie Mercury ahead of the 1992 Olympics. This weekend, Barcelona's cathedral hosted the first major homage to Montserrat Caballé since the world-class Catalan soprano passed away. The tribute included a performance of Requiem by Giuseppe Verdi, played by the orchestra and the choir of the Liceo Opera House, a notable composition in Caballé's repertoire. The event, organized by the family of the soprano, was attended by some 600 people. And with this, we finish today's show. But as always, we leave you with a suggestion of what to do in Catalan culture. And this time, it's a concert by the Barcelona Trio, reunited this weekend for a special performance. Enjoy, and see you tomorrow.